What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to bring you guys another full face of a black owned brand. And for today, I'm gonna go ahead and showcase you guys Danessa Myricks. Now, originally this was not gonna be my next video in my full face kind of series this month, but I must say, out of all the new things that I have, I just was lusting and dusting and just yearning to try her new cream blush formula. So I had to go ahead and just film this video, and I must say it has brought my spirits up just filming this video and playing around here. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing how I created this face with these makeup items, I did of course reach out of this collection because there's some things from the brand that I don't have because I just quite literally don't need. But that said, if you're interested in hearing my opinions about the makeup items that I do have and how this brand overall works with my aesthetic and just aesthetics in general, then let's just get to it. Hey guys, so for today's video, I'm very excited to do another full face of makeup. Today's beauty brand that I'm going to be doing a full face of is actually Danessa Myricks. I've done one in the past, but I kind of wanted to just reinvent that look. I'll be using very similar products. I really didn't buy anything spectacularly new except for two products that I'll be testing out for the first time. One, I've already had similar products, just this is a different shade. So I got another one of her Colorfixes in the shade Chocolate. It is the matte formulation, which I know and love. So I will be just using this at some point throughout my look. And then I also did get one of her Flushed Balms, which is her blush formulation. So I'm very excited. We're already zoomed in. We're already ready to go. So let's just get into it. All right, so first thing we're going to do is go ahead and use her blurring balm. I have it in the shade Universal. I think this is a really good formula specifically for primer. I know other people use this as an actual foundation and they truly enjoy it. I clearly have only had this shade, so I've never been able to kind of try it in that formulation, but I really do enjoy it. I find that it really does go on to the skin nicely and really preps your skin. I do have combination skin in case you did not know. I'm pretty normal on the perimeter of face but oily in the center, so that's why I only really focused that particular product in the center because that's really my only trouble area for longevity. Full disclosure though, I'm actually filming this at night, so I don't really care if this lasts very long because I'll only be wearing it for like maybe 4 to 5 hours tops. For the foundation that I have, like I said, I don't have the universal, or I don't have the blurring balm in a color skin shade, although I could definitely see me maybe in the future getting one. I do, although, have her Yummy Skin foundation. I actually had to get two different shades because neither shade worked perfectly for me. So I have 21 in, and I want to say, I don't remember what the other shade is. It's not on here. Let me see if maybe this is the one. No. I don't know what the other shade is. I'll make sure to figure it out and put it down below for you all. But basically what I ended up doing was literally mixing the two shades and it kind of just works. So I believe this is the one that literally has the two shades mixed inside. So I'm just going to use this. People have kind of touted this as being her first foundation. Which foundation was that? That was like the full coverage one. It didn't have any like cutting agent in it, but she did release her glow oil, which I actually do have that as well. But with this foundation, you just quite literally don't need it because it's pretty much the combination of her first foundation with an oil. So you already have it kind of pre-mixed. As you can see, this concoction is just not dark enough for me. So I do need to go ahead and open up the dark foundation and get some. This is very much full coverage though, so if you are not a fan of full coverage, I would not recommend it. And it does have a smell. This smell to me, it's like more of just the oil kind of smell. It's not truly oil, it's like a beauty oil, but that's what I get coming off of this. It's like an oiled down smell. Yeah, I really don't have any other explanation for it. But yeah, we're just gonna work this all over my face. Okay, so this is definitely not a perfect match, but that kind of comes with the territory of mixing two foundation shades together. So there's that, but I'll be working with all of the other products to make it work. And for some reason, this top is not closing. Is this, I had the wrong top. Okay. So yeah, I do like this product, but do know it is full on high coverage. And from what I could tell, I was not the only person who had difficulty finding their perfect shade. So if you're somebody who is not okay with kind of buying two different shades or whatever have you, maybe don't stick with this. Another thing, if you are somebody who is combination oily, I wouldn't say that this is the best foundation that she has released in her range. I would actually tell you to look at the first release, which the cover, the total cover. No, I think that's a different brand. I genuinely can't think of that name of that range, but I would say look at that range or look at the color tones in this range, because both of those ranges really tote to being full coverage or high coverage with a very good longevity. This, I think, is a little bit better for those who have a little bit more normal to dry skin. Don't get me wrong, as an oily skin girl, I still make it work, but just know that. Know that. So there are quite a few things that I can use for concealer. I don't think I'm actually going to. I think I'm actually just going to maybe just use a normal concealer because I want this look to actually look nice. But she does have these Colorfix shades that are in the neutral range or in the nude range, and you can use these to quite literally create a full face of makeup. I've seen people do it. I probably could use this nude shade, but I don't need that much coverage. I just want a little bit lightening, so I'm just gonna reach for an easy to grab concealer really quickly. I'm also going to go ahead and set my foundation. Then I will come back and we're going to do bronzer, blush, highlighter, and my eyes. So just give me 1 second. Okay. So I just went ahead and did my concealer, my powder, and my brows because I just don't have any products that I want to use from Danessa Myricks. That said, once again, I have seen people use color fixes in the brows. I just don't have the products. Like I don't have the spoolies disposable to use these types of products. So I'm just not going to do it, at least not for today. But next, I did want to go ahead and do my bronzer. You guys know I have already panned Danessa Myricks' actual bronzer. This is her Balm Contour, and I still use this interchangeably as a bronzer just because this particular shade is warmer than my skin tone. So I didn't actually set my whole face. I set my T-zone area. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this. I do like to apply my base products all with the same application method. So because I went ahead and did my foundation with a sponge, I do like to just go ahead and do my bronzer and subsequently my blush with a sponge as well. As you can see, it is quite subtle. It's not going to be as pigmented and as opaque as her cream bronzer, but as the name suggests, it is a balm type product, right? So you're not going to expect something that is going to be super opaque, super pigmented, really showing up. It still does bring some life to the base that I appreciate, and so that's why I like to use it. And like I said, it is darker than my skin tone. I just didn't really pack it on, but in the event that you are interested, this is the shade Deep 1, and I do actually have a bronzer hunt with this. So I will go ahead and have it linked down below for you all in the event that you want to see it to its true mode. I just kind of want to do a very subtle beat, you know. I'm not really feeling a very impactful beat. As you can see, I'm low energy today, so Yeah. Anyways, the next thing I want to do is go ahead and try out this cream blush. I personally like to put my cream blush down before I do cream highlighter and after I do cream bronzer. It's just my steps, but I know some people like to do it differently. Be great. So I did only pick up one shade. I've been trying to be good lately, and even though I'm interested in so many things, I pick up one, and in the event that I have to have some other shades, I'll get them later. So this is in Golden Hour. This is the darker of the two oranges, and this is a spectacular shade tone. I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch it for you all. It has the exact same feel as the Balm primer that I use because it is the exact same formula. The only difference is that this now has a blush tone instead of like a skin tone as the other tones did in that range. So with this, I do want to use my sponge. The fly in the ointment is I just have a lot on my sponge. So I found a slightly clean area. So I'm just going to pick up the cream blush on that area, and we're just going to, oh my goodness. We are just going to apply it, and to me this looks beautiful. It went on very easily. I don't feel as though I'm getting a lot of like gelatinous kind of tone or unnecessary shine. I feel like it very much is true to pan. It's showing up. I'm definitely loving this. It's definitely taking over the look, but I'm not mad at it by any means. I want to see if this dries down, very similar to what people have said the Balm formulation does in the skin tone shades. I want to see if that is true. And I didn't say how much product is this. Since it's a new product, I really want to give you guys some details. Why is everything written so small? So there's 6 grams of product in here, or 0.21 ounces. It does have the Upsolite technology, which makes it true to this range and why they kind of put it in this range. And then let's see, there's a 12-month shelf life. It is made in China, designed in the US. And yeah, I think that's all the information that you could possibly need from this. And from what I know, I'm very, very excited to see how this works. But just application alone, I'm very, very happy with it. Typically, it takes me some time to get these types of products to build up, and especially building them up with a sponge, because that sponge gives it like that wettish feel. I feel like most times I have to really fight with the sponge to get the color and not necessarily too much dew. So I'm very, very happy about that. Now it is time for the highlighter. Now the highlighter that I have from her range is in this formulation. It is in the compact, and this is in the shade Hot Water. What I have found with this particular product is that it works best if you put a powder highlighter down and then you kind of use this to melt that powder highlighter into your skin to make it look like it is a part of your skin. So let me demonstrate. I just need to find a highlighter. I wasn't that prepared. I knew what I wanted to do today, but I wasn't prepared enough to pull the highlighter out. So one of my favorite highlighters lately has been this One Size Fantasia highlighter. I think this is still available. Last time I checked, it's actually a part of the President's Day sale at Sephora, but I think this will be going up maybe a day after. No, this will be going up on President's Day. So if you're interested, definitely, I would recommend this product, but that is just me. So I'm just using a dirty Sonia G brush that I really need to clean. I just haven't found me in it to do it, but I'm just going to apply this highlighter as I would normally apply my powder highlighters, which is on the high points of my face and in the areas that I'm comfortable being highlighted. I know some people highlight, their forehead and their chin. Just those aren't places that I find I want to really highlight, mainly because of where my oils project. I don't want them to be projecting the oil. I don't want the highlighter to project my oil. I hope that makes sense. So I just applied it, and as you can see, it looks beautiful, and it truly is one of those formulas that I don't think you need to use this technique, but it was the closest one I could find. So now what I'm going to do is take the cream highlighter, and what I like to do is literally just pop it right on top. And maybe I should have used a highlighter that was a little thicker and didn't melt into my skin as well, but it just, in my opinion, melts that product in and makes it look a little bit more skin like. So this is the cheek with the cream highlighter and the powder highlighter, and this is it without. I don't know if you guys can see a difference. It might, like I said, just be like application error. I should have used a highlighter that just doesn't melt as well into my skin. But this is how I was using this product when I was at the height of using it. Like almost every application, I was truly just using it in this manner. I haven't tried in a very long time actually applying a powder highlighter on top. Let's do it. Let's see what happens. So I'm just going to take that Sonia G fan brush again and just go right on top. Let's see if I can get it. I don't want to disturb anything. Is it even highlighter? I think it's highlighter. I think it's even more emphasized. Yeah, it is, than it was before. So if you're somebody that like you can't even wrap your head around the possibility of using this to kind of top a powder highlighter, you can definitely use it, oh my goodness, to be a base. I've just traditionally used it as a topper, but that looks great. It looks really, really good. Let me just melt everything in just a tad. Okay, so we are getting there. Let me just do my lips very quickly. For lip liner today, I'm just gonna go into this baby. This is the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in Mason. It is just a typical brown, nothing crazy, unique, or anything like that. I think I already had a lip balm on my lips, so yeah, that might be why the shade isn't showing up as opaque, but I'm perfectly fine with the amount of lipping. I'm perfectly fine with the amount of lip liner that is appearing here. Now for my lip shade, I think I'm gonna try to concoct something with these two. This one is in the shade Nude 7. It's a little bit more yellow based, and this one is Nude 10. It's a little more neutral based. I like both shades, but I would love to kind of mix the two, and her color fixes you can use literally anywhere around the body. Do know that less is absolutely more with her formula, especially this one. I had a dot on my finger, a dot. Okay, so that's that. And then I think I'm going to take the Nude 10 and I'm just going to use it to kind of line and blend Nude 7 a little bit more into my skin tone, because I like the tone. It just is a little... it's a little out there. So let's see what we can do. I'm just going to get a little bit more. I love the color and I love the combination. I just feel like the top and the bottom of my lips aren't super blended in. Like I would just want a little bit of this. Guess it would be better if I had a lip brush. I just don't have any. So we're just going to use my fingers. Like it. So I just combine those two shades to get this kind of lip combination ombre situation, and I really do like it. Now for the eyes. You can go into using her color fixes without an eyeshadow primer. I just have always been in the habit, as much as I can remember, to use one. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of my About Face eyeshadow primer on. I wonder if you could use the Balm formulation on your eyes. I'm sure you could, because it is a primer. And since all of our products are kind of multi-use, I couldn't see why you wouldn't be able to use this on your eyes. The Yummy Skin. Yeah, it says for face and eyes. So I could definitely see you using this as a primer for your base, specifically for her color fixes if you choose to. So, like I said, I have quite a few color fixes. I'm pretty sure I have one more. It's Carrot. It's the yellow orange. It's a bright orange. I guess I just forgot to pull it out. But I have these, and then I have the chocolate one. Alrighty, so these are the colors. Like I said, I also have a Carrot one, which is more orange. I don't think I even really want to pull that one out, so I'm not going to worry about it. I would love to put this one on though, and maybe use these three colors. So I have Chocolate, Rustic, and then Nude 7. Nude 7 is the shade that I used in the middle of my lips. Rustic is the shade, if you follow me for quite some time, I've used for a cream blush and absolutely loved it. And then Chocolate is the nude shade. So I prefer, when I'm going to use a cream eyeshadow, I'm going to use a more synthetic brush. That is just my preference. I prefer not to damage my natural hair brushes, but be great, choose what you would wish. I'm going to go ahead and start off my look with the shade Chocolate, and I'm just going to be using my hand as kind of a canvas, if you will, so I can mix and match and kind of build the shades as I wish. So I'm just going to use this Angie Hot and Flashy brush from BK Beauty. This is the A501, and I'm just going to start by building this outer V area and kind of getting a shape. The thing about her color fixes, they are beautiful. I find that they do not move once you've put them down, but because of that, you can't really dilly-dally in between putting it down and blending it out, because if you do, you are going to get a crazy look or something that's not as blended as you wish it to. So I always recommend either doing one eye at a time. Or just making sure you know what you're going to do when you start your look, so that you can just go ahead and start the blending process. You can build these up so that if you didn't blend it the way you wanted, or if it didn't come out the way you want, you can kind of go back and fix it. But I'm always in the team of just getting it right the first time. That way you don't have to make any corrections at all. So this is what the outer V is looking like. I also did take this chocolate shade and put it down on my lower lash line. I will be blending out the whole edges a little bit more, probably with some translucent powder, but I want to kind of get the look down. Then I have these two shades. So I have the Rustic and the Nude 7. I kind of want to go into the Rustic and have that be a majority of my look. This has been a favorite kind of neutral natural shade for me. So I would love to kind of just really blend that into Chocolate. And because I'm already going to be blending the shades together, I'm just going to go ahead and use the exact same brush and just focus on getting this shade on my eyes and blending it in. The good thing about this formula, like I said, it does dry down quite quickly and it's just really nice. It will blend out. As you can see, I've blended these into my crease, and you can always add on, but what you can't do is take away. So just slowly build if you're not used to this formula. And I would say less is more, as always. Don't do a thick layer. I've never had an issue with that, but I don't know how that would feel on your eyes. So I would just recommend applying less of the product and then kind of going from there. But as you can see, There's that nice dimensionality. I think I'm going to go back in with the chocolate shade just to really, you know, beef that section up. But I'm really liking this very simple, easy look. Okay, so I'm liking how everything is coming out so far. I will be, like I said, blending out those outer edges a little bit better with some translucent powder, but I'll be doing that off camera. So I want to kind of get all the on camera stuff done at the same time. The last thing I really want to do with my eyes is go ahead and play with the Nude 7 shade. This is the shade that I put on my lips for a lip product. And what I'm going to do is try to kind of put this in two places. I want to kind of put this in the middle to slightly help with the blend, and then also in my inner corner. It's not as bright of an inner corner as I typically do, but I think what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and use some of the cream highlighter to emphasize that area. So I feel like it kind of helped with that blend because it felt like that blend was still a little harsh between the two shades, the rustic and the chocolate shade. And I feel like the Nude 7 just really helped to kind of bring it all together, even though it's not, you know, it's not groundbreaking or anything, but it still feels like it helped. So I'm just gonna work on getting this done. Okay, so that's it for all of the Danessa Myricks products. I'm just gonna hop off to finish up my eye look. I'm gonna put on some mascara. I might actually put on a liner as well, just to tie this whole look together. And then I'm gonna come back so we can talk about all of the products that I've showcased and just overall my vibes and opinions when it comes to the brand Danessa Myricks has created for us. So give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, so this is the finished look. Let's not judge my eye look too much. I feel like there were some things that I learned throughout this tutorial that definitely allowed me to learn more about the Danessa Myricks products that I actually have. But let's go through it like I always do, just very quickly. So first we have the primer, and this is, I don't think I actually said the original name. It is the Yummy Skin Universal Balm Powder product. This came out in the same time that the Yummy Skin Foundation came out, and that's why I picked up both at the same time. This has the Upsolite formulation, which is basically touted as a scientific ingredient or creation really that helps to reduce oils in cosmetics products. So that was a reason why I really like this. I do find that this helps to reduce my oils throughout the day. This is a fantastic primer. The only reason it's not kind of a go-to is mainly the application of it, right? So for this, I have to actually get my hands dirty and really just rub in on my face. And don't get me wrong, I am far from the one person that can say I hate using my hands to apply my makeup. But if I'm going to do that, I'd rather me not like contaminate the whole product every time I use it. So it's very kind of superficial reason why I don't reach for that very often, but it is a fantastic product. I would recommend it, and I am very happy to have it in my collection. Then we have the foundation. I like the application. I like the finish. Pretty much everything about this finish except for the shade range. I hate that I had to pick 2 different shades to create my perfect shade. And this is coming from somebody who is pretty much always the stereotypical one deep shade. So that really tells you kind of, for me, the shade range isn't perfect, but I am only one person, one human being. I do appreciate though that there is deeper shades than what I picked up and lighter shades than what I picked up. It does overall look like it is a good shade range. I'm just disappointed that I had to pick up 2 different shades, and for that matter, I don't think that that is the perfect foundation for me in her range. I think now looking back at it, I should have just picked up colored versions of this as well, and just kind of stuck with this particular formulation. But either way, I still think it's a fantastic formula and I really do like it. It's just, you know, the things that you learn after having the products and really getting a good use out of them. Then let's go ahead and talk about some of the cream cheek products that I used today. I used her Balm Contour. I really do like this product, but if you're somebody who likes a nice pigmented opaque application, I would not recommend this. I would recommend her cream bronzer. This is for somebody who I think likes a little bit more of an effortless bronze that just kind of flows with the look and is not super obvious about it. I do really like this shade. I like the formula. I like everything about it. It just is not as much of a kind of go-to favorite for me as her cream bronzer was. Coming into one of the new products that I tried today, her blush formula. This is the Yummy Skin Golden Hour cream blush. I love it. I love it so much. I love how I didn't have to use very much product and it applied beautifully. And typically for me, if something applies really easily and quickly and opaquely like this with a sponge, it's going to do the exact same thing with the brush. And so for me, that versatility, that kind of duality that I get to choose what form of application I like is a positive for me. This is very nice. I really like it, and yeah, I can definitely see me picking up some more colors in this particular range. I really love cream blush though, so that is that. But yeah, very excited to potentially pick up a couple more shades in that particular range. Then lastly, for the cheeks, I want to go ahead and talk about her cream highlighter. I will be honest, out of the 3 products that I have here to talk to you guys about, I feel like this particular formulation of cream highlighter isn't all that. I like it and I've been able to figure out a way to use it. I think it works beautifully today and it has every time I've reached for it, but it's not like an end all be all holy grail product. If you really wanted to do that, she has some highlighter products in tubes. I can't think of the formulation name right now. I think people really like those, and I would say that that's more of a better bet of a traditional cream highlighter than this is. I would say this is more of like a petroleum jelly-ish cream highlighter that like Tower 28 has and some other brands have, that you can find a use for it, and you can even use it like under your highlighter, not under your highlighter, under your foundation to kind of get an effortless everyday look. But it's definitely not something that traditionally a lot of people would think of as a highlighter, because it really just has that like lit from within look in certain areas. So yeah, that's that when it comes to this. Yeah, very happy to have in my collection. Personally, I do like it, but just know that going in, it's not going to be a traditional highlighter where you can see shimmer or glitter or anything like that. It's really just going to be like a low-key, like a petroleum jelly that works with a cream highlighter or can enhance I said a cream highlighter that can work with a powder highlighter or can enhance a powder highlighter. Then the last products that I have to talk to you guys about are her color fixes. I still forgot to look for the last shade. Let me look for that really quickly. All right, so I have all of the shades now. I am up to a grand total of 6 shades from her Colorfix range, and all of these are within her matte formulation of this range. She does also have a shimmer formulation, just none of the shades have appealed to me. I have picked up some that are in the nude range and then others that actually have colored names. Do know that the ones that say nude, you quite literally have to pick up from her website. You can't get those at Sephora or Beautylish or any other retailer. You have to pick up the nude range from her website. That said, all of the other shades that I have, you can pick up at all of those other distributors, and that's actually where I got them. And I love them. I love all of these. I think that they are a really nice product to add into anybody's kind of normal traditional collection that just wants to kind of get their feet wet with her brand, because these are products that you can use quite literally everywhere. So if you're somebody who likes to kind of experiment with colored mascara, eyeliner, different cheek products, lip products, brow colors, whatever have you, these can be applied and work in all of those areas. The only thing I would say is because of the actual applicator, which is just the squeeze tube, you will have to get like a spoolie or use your hand like I did as a palette to kind of work with the colors that you have. But other than that, these are a really nice formula. I find that they dry down very much like a powder formulation, different than the cream blush, the Yummy Skin. I feel like this has a little bit more life to it. It's a little bit more kind of everyday, whereas these I find to give quite literally a matte finish. Now, if you're looking at my eyes and you're saying, sis, those don't look matte, they're not. I don't know if I kept it in, but I actually did just put the balm on the middle. And I will say, I'm not loving what happened there. It looks like, at least on one eye, the color actually broke up, which is disappointing. But this brings me kind of to my last thought when it comes to Danessa Myricks brand. I think that she has really done well at doing what some other makeup artists have wanted to do with their brand, which she brought her creativity, her artistry to her brand, and she basically said, have at it, do whatever you want. I'm going to give you different formulas, different application methods, and you can be great. And with that knowledge, and then her classes that she has available both for free and for payment, you can get so much information from her as a makeup artist. And that's something that I truly admire and truly love about her brand. You know, I would have probably never used these types of tubed products for eyeshadow, for cream blush, for lip products, had it not really been for her brand, because of the way that they truly market it. I've seen applications of Danessa Myricks literally applying blush with a more fluffy brush. So something like this where it's fluffy, and she's shown it, and you can really see how using a different brush, even a slightly different technique, like if you underpaint and then you apply your foundation on top, which I went through a phase and that's what I did, you can really see how it just effortlessly comes together, and it looks a lot more natural and everyday than maybe applying all of your base products over your foundation. And so I just truly enjoy this brand because of that. She really breaks down the artistry application and makes it kind of everyday proof for those of people like me who just like to play sometimes. And you know, sometimes you play and you mess up, just like I did with my eye look, and that's okay, because the good thing about makeup is you can always take it off, try again later that day or the next day. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was a good kind of highlight of the brand. Definitely let me know if you have different products from the brand and you love them and you would recommend them, or if you have similar products to me and you hate them. Comment down below. Let everybody know in the community. My opinion is not word. I just like to kind of get my opinion out there and show you guys what I feel and how it works for me, just so that in the event you're having difficulty, you can try it as well. So that's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next full face or roundup or whatever is up on the agenda. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Bye guys.